I'm gonna let you in on a secret. There's about 1 billion beginner bike videos. Of course, my seminal work on the best beginner bikes already cemented what most folks were looking for. However, a question that most people fail to answer is, what is the best second motorcycle to get? Most people get their first bike and within a year or two have bought another one or replaced the one they got, unless you live in some license-restricted, freedom-hating wasteland not like America, where I ride whatever bike I want and pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for healthcare, you suckers. Today I wanted to look at some options you can take a look at once you decide to get going on your second motorcycle. Before we begin, I'd like to thank today's sponsor for this video, Filmora by Wondershare. Filmora is a video editing software that allows anybody with any level of experience to create effective edits and packed a whole host of powerful features. It's got 4K video support, color tuning, and the ability to quickly layer videos, and you can get started making all the content you need. Personally, I'm an Adobe Premiere user and have used it for years. However, I gave Filmora a shot and found it incredibly easy to use. I think if I knew about Filmora when I started out, I definitely would have started using it. It would have saved me a huge learning curve. Filmora is free to try out with zero risk, and if you share the link below, you can get access to their effects pack for a limited time as well. So if you're interested in editing your own videos to compete with your sweet Yam, you'll never defeat me, nothing can kill me, that's a fact. Click the link below to get started and check out the effects pack you can get for free by sharing. Now let's jump into those bikes. I have broken down this video into 3 paths, so let's explore path number 1. My bike is slow and I want to go fast 24/7. You are afflicted with the same disease as I am, the unholy and unrelenting need for speed. Your feet are always moving, you long for going wide open throttle on every single vehicle you get into. Golf cart? Let's top it out. Tricycle? Maybe I can drift it. You've been riding your so-called beginner bike for a while, and after your buddy let you try out his big kid bike, you decided it was time to cash in on all that big dick energy and get the bike your parents warned you about. There are a few choice options you can get into if you are diagnosed with terminal squidding disease. The Yamaha R1 or any latest gen leader bike, it's the best bang for buck. I recommend the R1 for a few reasons. 1, it's a Yamaha, making it virtually superior to all other motorcycles, Daytona notwithstanding. 2, it's relatively affordable for its performance. I've seen last model years sitting in dealerships going for under $14,000 out the door. That's a whole lot of go juice for 14 grand, seriously. And finally, they sound the absolute business. The reason I recommend going from beginner bike to modern day leader bike is not because I think you'll kill yourself. Hey, if I'm still around, anything's possible, but because you'll have a whole host of electronic controls designed specifically so that you won't kill yourself. You got rider modes, traction control, wheelie control. You can absolutely spank an R1 and it will try very hard to not kill you. And if you've been riding for a while, give it a shot. If you truly have the need for speed, you will be highly rewarded with the R1. However, the R1 is just my personal preference. You could go with any modern day leader bike and they'll provide most of the same features. Have you seen the specials BMW has going on? That's right, screw your friends and family, buy a goddamn leader bike. The spankable 600 off of Craigslist. This is another route you can take if you're balling on a budget sort of squid. You get yourself one of those daggone 600s off Craigslist. If you love spanking the ever-loving Christ out of a motorcycle, a 600 is a great option. With a snappy top end, great ergonomics for doing hood rat stuff, and ridiculously easy to come across parts, a Japanese 600 is a perfect second motorcycle for someone who has decided to go all in on the degenerate lifestyle. There are days I kind of wish I chose one of these over my Daytonas, plural, but I regret nothing. A 600 is a great bike to get yourself familiar with the extreme ergonomics of super sports, and best of all, once you decide you get your third motorcycle, guess what, lamb chop? You've got yourself a track bike waiting at home. You're welcome. The Daytona. How could I not mention this to you? The Triumph Daytona 675R, or even the standard 675, why the hell would you get that, is the greatest motorcycle ever made. I have owned 2 of them and destroyed both of them. If you want a bike that is as functionally fast as a leader bike most of the time, except in those pesky straightaways, is crazy light and flickable, and is just about the nicest thing you ever laid your peepers on, this bike is for you. I'm genuinely surprised Triumph has not issued some sort of cease and desist order on me on talking about the Daytona, but here we are. It reminds me of how in the mid-2000s Abercrombie and Fitch paid Mike the Situation from Jersey Store to stop wearing their products. Triumph, if you're listening, we can work a deal out, I promise. The Daytona is a sick bike to get for your second, and you won't regret it. That thing is juicy as hell. Now let's talk about path number 2. Maybe you're thinking, sport bikes are dumb, and I want an everyday bike that I can enjoy. Maybe you're older, maybe you're wiser, maybe you're both. I'm not sure because I'm young and not wise, so I don't really understand what you're talking about. However, there's a subset of people who determine that after riding their beginner bike, they don't want to go fast necessarily, even though that is fun, but they would like something to have fun with every day and enjoy in a back road on weekends. We call these responsible people. I had to look that one up in the dictionary. Here's what I recommend in that case. The Aprilia Tuono. Yes, there is not great dealership for Aprilia. Yes, it's an Italian motorcycle. Yes, it comes with a year's worth of pizza as a buy-in incentive because you're a happy wheelie boy. The Tuono is about as good as it gets for usable daily motorcycles. Yes, I understand. Most people do not consider an 1100cc V4 with 175 horsepower a usable daily bike, but those people are plebs, and I don't care. The Tuono is lauded as an excellent handling bike. It's got razor sharp looks and an exhaust note that melts faces and panties. It can also melt dudes' boxers if that's what you're into as well. I have a small yet vocal female following, it would seem. I recommend the Tuono as your Swiss Army knife. Do everything motorcycle for daily use. The Triumph Street Triple. The Street Triple, and I'm trying my very best to not sound like an absolute Triumph fanboy, but the Street Triple is just an absolute peach. It's got truly usable everyday power, great torque, easy ergonomics. The Street Triple's like a golden retriever. Who the hell doesn't like those? You can pick them up used for decent prices in the 675cc engine configuration, or if you just want to ball out, you can get the new 765cc Street Triples and get that tasty mid-range torque bump. The Street Triple has a reputation for being refined, composed, and super fun to ride. If you want an upgrade in terms of just about everything from the beginner bike class, don't sleep on the Street Triple. It's such a good bike. And if you really feel like not giving a shit, KTM Super Duke. Yeah, you know what? Screw it. You want a more upright bike, but you want to just absolutely pull your eyeballs into the back of your head every time you wick the throttle? Get yourself a KTM Super Duke 1290. There's a reason this bike is listed as one of the most fun and rowdy experiences on two wheels. Check out Baron Von Grumble's video on it. Wow. This bike is stupid fast, but you can totally use it every day. It's sort of like owning an old school muscle car with about 800 horsepower. Yes, does it sound ridiculous? Sure. Do you care? No. Don't let your dreams be dreams. Now we'll talk about path 3. Maybe you think, riding on the road is dumb. I want to go off-road and I want adventure and stuff. You bought a beginner bike and then you realize that riding on road is not really your thing. Welcome, dirt bro. Your dreams of ADVs and long trips, the open road, and enjoying motorcycles in a sensible fashion. Again, I had to look that one up. Sensible, that's a new word. Even though I know next to nothing about ADV bikes and what you're looking for, I'm still gonna recommend you some daggone bikes. The BMW R1200 GS. I'm assuming you got that Dash, otherwise you would not be considering the ADV life. So go all out, get the ADV bike that everyone wishes they had, the BMW R1200 GS. The bike that made it long way round, long way down, brought around town and into the Starbucks around the corner. That joke is so played out, isn't it? Even though it gets a bad rap for being a poser's ADV bike, the BMW R1200 GS is a monster of a go-wherever bike. And there's a reason they're used all over the world to conquer huge distances. While not exactly a great off-road bike given its weight, the BMW R1200 GS is a great option for those older beginners who are looking for that next step in their progression of the ADV lifestyle. A WR450R. Yeah, you could just say screw it, I'm going supermoto and I'm never going back. 450Rs are rowdy bikes with a surprising amount of pull for their displacement, which is largely due to the fact that they weigh close to nothing. The WR450 can be used for serious off-roading as it's a race-trim dirt bike, but it can also be modified and relegated for street duty as well. If you're considering a WR450 as a second bike, I think you know what you're about. Consider this choice wisely though. You're buying a race spec machine that's built to demolish off-road tracks. It's basically the R1 of the dirt, but you can kind of rip around on the street with it too. See the countless videos of supermotos on streets. The Africa Twin. Falling in line with the BMW R1200 GS ethos, the Africa Twin's a hell of a bike that you can do whatever you want with. While not a true off-road machine and more of a general ADV sport touring style of bike, the Africa Twin makes a fantastic second bike when you've tooled around with the beginner bike for a while. It's got a 1000cc parallel twin, which in all honesty is bigger than any parallel twin has any right to be. The Africa Twin has gobs of torque for you to utilize and explore as you fulfill your adventure boy dreams. It's a bike that isn't quite as common as the BMW as well, if you do care about that sort of thing. And that will conclude today's video, my dudes. If you liked the video, be sure to crush that like button and hit subscribe to never miss a new video. I hope you took something of value away from today's video, which, let's be honest, you probably didn't, but I probably made you laugh a few times. Thanks, and I'll catch you next time. Fact. Yammie Noob is known to have a terminal diagnosis of squid disease. There is no known cure. The doctor said he has roughly 5 more years to live if he keeps commandeering vehicles in the way that he does. Goodbye. The Yamaha R1. The Yamaha R1. It's the best bang for buck of any leader. The best bang for the buck, or any later. And even, guess what, Lamb Chop? You got yourself a track bike waiting. The bike that made it long way. Oh, that's gonna be tough. Standard 675. But why would the hell you? Oh my god.